You are listening to an Atomic Broadcasting production, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the feature presentation. And remember, do your part, such as like, comment, rate, and don't forget to tell a friend to tune in for an Atomic Time.
Now, where did we leave off? Ah, yes. Atop a frozen waterfall, the group discovered a scouting party of kobolds, who offered that their tribe could rebuild the missing bridge. They also offered to lead the heroes back to their village to rest, as long as they kept their eyes covered for the escort.
I just recently went to the Kansas City Renaissance Festival.
Ooh.
Renaissance. It's been so long since I've been there.
I know. It's been a long time since I've been there. It's been about 6 years.
Was I with you last time you went? I went to 2 years in a row in college.
Right. I think I went with you those 2 times.
Yeah.
Because that was right. Yeah, Jordy, you were with the original party that went up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jordy was there too.
Yeah, we just got if I remember right, it was just a random idea. I don't know who had the idea. It's like, hey, you guys want to go up to the Renaissance Festival? And like a weekend in September. And was it one of our friends, his family's up there, who said, yeah, we'll host you. And we all just went up there over a weekend. It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Then we kind of tried to make it a tradition for a few years, just to go once a year.
There were memorable road trips.
Yeah.
Hey, Jordy.
Yeah,
Oh,
Jordy. Yes. The Wendy's that we stopped at every time.
Man, that Wendy's.
That Wendy's, yeah.
That's where the family dynamics began.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Wendy's,
Well,
freestyle.
Now, the Wendy's, we went to a Wendy's on our way back from the Renaissance Festival, and we all had like characters we were playing in a LARP that we were dressed up as for the Renaissance Festival. And we decided it's 11 o'clock. We're the only people in the building. So when we went up to order at the Wendy's, we all ordered in character.
They seemed to really like it.
They did.
They seemed to enjoy it.
one person specifically seemed to like it when Jordy was ordering.
What was your character?
I'm going to back up from my microphone.
Yes.
I was Sigmund Stormhelm, Duke of Randulan.
Nice.
And his jester, Tim,
And Jester Tim.
who was not me or anyone here.
No, it's nobody here, one of our other friends.
So what did you do at this? I mean, I know that they're all they're not all the same, but what did you do at this festival?
At the festival? Well,
Yeah.
first of all, we dressed up.
I feel like you did that before. And
Yeah. So the theme of the festival for the opening, or we were we went Sunday. The opening day was that Saturday. We went Sunday. The opening theme was pirates and sirens.
Were you a siren?
My wife would have loved that. I'm sad I didn't get to go.
Yeah. Emily was half pirate, half siren.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
oh, best of both worlds.
Oh yeah. Everybody liked her costume. I liked her costume. I was generic pirate number 3.
The other two got caught by the siren.
I got caught by the siren too. I just stayed alive.
She liked you.
It's the beard.
The other 2 pirates didn't have a beard?
Yep. They don't have much of anything now. We went up there. It's if you've never been to a Renaissance Festival, first Kansas City's a really good one to go to, but I know there's several around the country. If you enjoy essentially a medieval-esque themed, I don't know, not fair, but
Like a convention type
convention kind of deal. Yeah, just where people dress up. They have bunch of booths. Craftsmen were there. I got a couple of leather bracers with built-in throwing knife holsters in them that are going to be used this October. Costumery.
Oh, I was like,
They're-
Sven is an assassin.
They're
Who
really
cares, me?
nice. I need to show you pictures of them later. The other two pirates didn't have a beard.
Oh,
Yep.
nice.
it's a lot of fun, and in the people you get to meet, everybody's just having a good time, and yeah, I really enjoyed it, even though it was like 96 degrees and I was wearing all black.
Ooh.
That's just part of it. That's
Ooh.
just part of it.
Yeah, it was a bit warm, but yeah, I had a lot of fun. So if you ever want to go to a Renaissance festival or been curious about it, do it. You don't have to dress up even. Just go have a good time. Get costumery or
Yeah,
you know.
I thought it was fun when I first went.
I've only been to one, and I wore jeans and now shorts and a button up.
I remember
That was my costume. I think it's been actually posted to the
It has,
Instagram.
yeah.
That was the other Renaissance festival.
The other
That
one.
It's
we go
smaller
to.
than the.
Not
Oh,
in
yeah.
Kansas
Yeah,
City.
Yeah.
Still good though.
White Heart.
Yep.
Yeah.
White Heart.
But it was very fun. So I think we should hold a renaissance in this kobold city.
That's
What?
not. The
Jordy?
so thankfully we did leave out a spot, so Jordy.
So I don't really see any good transitions here. And speaking of not seeing anything, you guys are blindfolded.
Ah.
Come on.
It was good.
I can't see that working, Jody.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Try again.
I think it's
Take off
fine.
the blindfold.
I think it's fine.
All right, so you
It
guys
wasn't bad.
are blindfolded and being led down who knows what sort of cavern by these kobolds.
Can I make like a check or something? I want to try to remember how to get back here, or how to get to the entrance, even though I'm
Yeah.
blindfolded.
I think that would be a survival check, like
Okay.
to track. But since you're trying to do it by memory instead of by like your instincts, go ahead and use your intelligence bonus instead of wisdom.
While he's doing that, I stick my right arm out and follow the wall like when you're in a maze.
Is it icy here too?
Yes, it is also icy here.
Lovely.
23.
So when we arrive, I'll reveal how much of the path you remember.
Okay.
10%.
It's something I'm not good at. I'm allowed to roll well.
Well, we're walking down this blindfolded path. Val's gonna try and get up next to Neros and be like, "Hey, Neros. Try not to let the others necessarily hear in case she was wanting to keep this more on the down low. I don't know how Neros feels about stuff.
What?
Oh, good. I was making sure this was you.
We're blindfolded. You bump into a kobold a few times.
I meant to tell you earlier, and I haven't had an opportunity yet. When we were looking at your locket, after you took it from me, and it was gone, I started feeling this sort of anger. It didn't seem like it was mine, but there was a feeling, a sense of anger came over me. I don't. Has it happened to anyone else who's messed with the locket?
Not that I know of.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
that doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't know. Maybe like we were talking before about the Phrasma psychopomp connection. Maybe it has something to do with that. Maybe we can look into it more. That
Yeah.
connection after we get out of here.
So we're not walking down an icy hallway blindfolded
Yeah.
into an evil village.
I don't know if they're evil. They said they were good crafters. They seem pretty peaceful. I think this should make for a nice night.
You make for an interesting one.
Yeah, that's for sure. I think so. Yeah. Is everything going all right after the lava monster? Did it hit you at all?
Yeah, it did. A smidge, but I'm fine.
Okay. Sorry.
Why are you apologizing?
I don't know. I feel like no one's happy with anything I'm doing today.
No, I think it's just, but it's high stakes right now, and I don't know that they inherently trust the kobolds.
Oh. honestly. I didn't really think about that when I was talking to them. They seemed so nice and cautious.
Yeah, well, hopefully they're not like the rest of the kobolds.
I mean, I've met some nice kobolds in town before, in
Yeah?
cities. But,
You feel a nudge behind you
oh,
Ugh.
as Zephyr bumps up and says, "Hey, what are us girls talking about?
You're not in this conversation.
I can hear you whispering, and it's got me very curious."
Yeah, it's because we don't want to involve other people. Zephyr, go away.
it's not up to me, Zephyr.
I'm a little nervous.
About what?
These lizard things.
I mean, yeah, I think most of us are, but it's fine.
Do you think any of them are mad that I tried to shoot them with a flaming arrow?
They actually seemed to not really care about that. They didn't even bring it up. I brought it up.
You think we should tell them that their whispers aren't really whispers?
I'm counting. Go. Shh.
I guess I'll let you two get back to talking quietly.
As quiet as you
Sorry
can
for
in a
interrupting,
cavern.
but I'm very bored back here.
It's okay, Zephyr.
Nope. Not gonna ask, no.
You hear no response.
All right. Anyway, like I said, maybe we can talk more about this stuff when we're out of here.
Yeah, probably.
And she switches to Draconic. Are we almost there?
We're close. Not much further now. And Alward, in your mind, you're thinking like left turn 9 paces, right turn 15 paces. I imagine you might have like one of your measuring sticks in your hand, just kind of fiddling it with it for focus.
Considering that all of my weapons are measuring sticks, yeah.
And you're thinking you're right on track. You still haven't lost it yet. You're not sure how much longer you'll be able to keep this focus when you hear, all right, we're here. And you know exactly the way back.
Nice.
Cool.
At least he believes so. All right, can we take these off then?
Yes. Carefully. Untie them. Don't just rip them off.
Oh, here. Just so it's not as jartling, I'll untie them on the others.
Varys is already off. What are you talking about?
How did he know?
I'm just going to pull mine off.
Oh yeah, I guess
tear
she'll-
mine with my dagger.
She went to like start removing it, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I could just tell people, hey everyone, you can take off your blindfolds now." But her hands are like still right there. She's like, oh, sorry.
What's the village look like?
So it opens out from these narrow stone tunnels that you've been walking through into a medium-sized cavern with small wood and straw huts strewn throughout. In the center, there is a fire, and the smoke is being released through what looks like a rough-hewn column in the ceiling that lets out just a little bit of sunlight, so you can tell that that hole goes out completely out of the cave. There are dozens of kobolds in the area, all of varying colors, as you can see from the firelight.
In dark vision? Oh,
Not
wait.
from dark
Dark
vision.
vision. This is right. Dark vision is gray.
And the kobolds who have been walking you in are all like holding their spears like they're all on guard, but not menacing you at the moment, just watching.
Val, can you ask them if any of these dozens of kobold can speak Skald?
There are dozens of them.
I mean, don't ask all of them. I mean, ask one of them if any of them can.
I'll try. Great kobold crafters. Did I notice one of them as like the chieftain?
Not that you can see at the moment.
I will ask again because there's more of you now. Does anyone in the village speak any other languages?
And suddenly everything goes silent and there's a thump sound as a kobold wearing like a headdress of feathers walks around from behind a hut. I am the chieftain, he says in Skald.
Oh, I'll bend over to one of them. Like, is there any like formality I need to do, like bowing or something?
Yes, you should all bow.
Oh, like kneel or bow?
Bow.
Uh,
Genuflect.
Okay, she bows.
Zephyr smiles at the hearing of Scald, and he bows at his waist, like, Asian culture.
All pay respect to the Kobold chief.
Is anybody not bowing?
I don't know if Uver would, because you asked that in Draconic and got the answer in Draconic.
We follow example. Val bowed.
I'm not following
Everyone
Val's
else
example.
bowed.
Okay, Uver, get us
I'm going to
killed.
whisper to Uver, it's technically customary to show respect to leaders of some kind. Normally with a bow.
Oh.
I
Well,
know you
don't-
lived around, but you should know that.
Dude, you don't have to be so like he would. It's not being obstinate. He just wouldn't have started to. I wouldn't have started when everybody else does, but Uver probably would have looked around and gave like a short bow. Like nod of the head.
The chieftain is walking towards your group and dramatically tapping his staff on the ground on his way over. The chieftain continues still in Scald. What brings you to our peaceful village?
Lack of bridge.
We
Invitation?
Combination of both.
our friend here, Val, was told that you all could build a bridge for us.
Of course, we are kobolds. We can build anything. But why should we build a bridge for you?
Because you're better than us at building.
I like this man.
With the check to identify a creature last episode, are kobolds known as builders, or are they just being prideful?
They're more
What?
they're more known as skillful crafters,
Okay.
particularly notable for their traps.
Okay.
I was told a lot about your great craftsmanship, and judging from this place we're at, I would agree with that. So it would honor us to see your great craftsmanship built onto the bridge.
And the main kobold that you were discussing with Val stands up and is like, "Oh, great chieftain!" Of course, in Draconic. "We offered to build these outsiders a bridge and treat them to a festival to prove how honorable our tribe is."
And Val says, he's talking about being nice to us so they can prove their honor.
The chieftain narrows his eyes and nods. "Bring out the food. We will feast."
Oh,
If
that sounds lovely. What are we having?
You will see the finest dishes prepared by the kobold cooks.
I'm very honored. Thank you.
I'm gonna whisper to everyone and be like, "All right, guys, we have to eat the food. It's polite. I can change it to taste like whatever you want. Just let me know."
Howard, these people are mighty crafters. I'm sure their food will be wonderful.
You suddenly hear in
Right.
Talden. It is. I understand what you're saying. Let her figure it out later.
Okay.
Sometimes experience is the best teacher.
Alward just sort of shrugs his shoulders and nods.
I'm sure it'll taste okay.
The kobolds begin scurrying around, some of them carrying like massive bowls on their heads, and other ones like scooting like this little rock and like gesturing, "Sit, sit." And before too much longer, there's this long trestle table that's been just assembled by the scurrying kobolds with chairs lining it on either side, and they begin bringing in utensils and dishes, and the smell of something cooking begins wafting in from one of the huts. A kobold comes out from the kitchen with like a 3-foot wide shallow bowl balanced on her head, and she comes and sets it down in front of 2 or 3 of you, depending on how you're seated. And it's full to the brim with just like vegetation, so like leaves, and there's like some kind of roots that have been sliced up into it, and a whole bunch of insects would be the best way to describe it.
Sweet.
Are any of them toasted or cooked?
Yes, they all
Okay,
appear to
good.
be roasted.
Okay, because I smelled something being cooked, and I wanted to make sure that something was at least cooked.
Val's eyes are filled with joy and excitement at the food.
The kobold has set the bowl down and has stepped back and is just eagerly watching you all.
Do we get? I speak to Draconic, and I'm like, do we just go, or is there customs here?
Yes, you are the guests. You eat first.
Oh, thank you.
I'd like to do a nature check on what the heck this is.
Yeah, go ahead and roll nature.
Bugs and fruit. Bugs and fruit.
I don't recognize it with a natural one.
It's bug salad.
Yeah.
She looks to the chef. She's like, "What do we have here?"
It's a braised vegetation with roasted roaches.
Ooh, roast. She says it's called roasted roaches.
Before you even, like, as he's talking, you see Zephyr digging in and just shoving his mouth.
So it doesn't taste too bad. But as you hear Val say roasted roaches,
It suddenly tastes bad.
yeah, go ahead and make a fortitude save.
I'll take a lot of vegetation and just a little bit of roaches.
I just look over at Howard and just say, beef? Beef.
21.
And I cast prestidigitation to make yours
Hold it
taste
in.
like beef.
Tastes like beef.
Not yours. You didn't ask.
Val
Tastes
will
like
begin.
beef.
Val will begin eating her vegetation and a little bit of roaches.
Uver will just look at it, take a big deep breath, and just start eating.
Could just say you're a vegetarian and just not have the bugs.
The kobold is nodding and smiling at Val, Zephyr, and Uver, who seem to be enjoying her cooking. She looks at Alward and Neros.
You said like roots and stuff, and I wanted to know like, are any of them like a poisonous root?
Then you would need Super Taster for that.
Can I make a nature check then to see if I can identify if there's any like direct threat beyond just like the bugs that are in it?
Nature or medicine, whichever's
Okay.
better for you.
21 for me.
So one of the roots that's used is if you eat too much of it, it'll give you headaches, but that's the worst it'll do.
All right, I'm going to avoid that root then and just take the greens and not the bugs.
Protein. Tell him he needs protein.
He's doesn't eat living creatures or creatures that were once living.
Oh. I heard a word for that. It's like vegan or something horrible.
Yeah, it's like that. He only eats fruits and vegetables and things like that.
Oh, and she turns off to one of the other kobolds. Bring in some more fruits and vegetables for the skinny little man.
Howard, I told them you were vegetarian.
But I mean,
You didn't want any of the bugs.
why would I want bugs?
They were offended. So I told them you were vegetarian.
I guess I could be vegetarian for like a day.
They're bringing more fruits and veggies.
Oh, I'm not upset about that at all, actually.
The kobold is still there, though, now just intently watching Neros.
I'll eat it.
She smiles and runs off back to the kitchen.
Howard's gonna cast prestidigitation on it to make it taste like something
you.
else.
Thank you.
What do you make it taste like? Is it still beef for everyone?
Funnel cake.
Funnel.
Basically powdered sugar.
I accept.
Garlic bread.
Yeah, I make it taste like garlic bread.
As you're all eating, the chief comes over and joins you, and he's got like a big bowl of some kind of stew or something, and he starts eating it, and he's just kind of like looking at all of you, like with the air of him thinking that he's really threatening and like imposing.
What's
but
in-
he's not that threatening.
What's in the stew?
Venison.
Can I have some? It looks good.
This is just all that's left.
I could take like a spoonful. I mean,
Is that customary where you come from?
it is if you want to share.
It's as if you were family.
We're not family.
I mean, it looks and smells pretty good. The rest of it does too, but I like soup.
I think what he's trying to say is certainly you want to show off the might and crafting abilities of all of your people. And though what we have it before us is delicious, he wants to try the best of the best.
You are fine hunters to have venison. That means that there is a way to go hunt, yes?
Yes. Of course there is.
There is an exit other than the way we came.
Of course, that's you're merely coming through the back door.
I even told you as much last session.
He did.
Did you?
Yep.
I
It's
forgot.
okay. Uver's forgetful.
No, I honestly thought you only had that in Draconic and didn't share. So.
It pleases me to know that our guards haven't mentioned that.
Do you have any trouble with, well, not trouble, but do you have any unexpected visitors, people that just shouldn't be here? I mean, the back door seemed to have been very hard to get to.
He scoops up a bowl of stew, slurps it while he's looking at you. You are our honored guests. But there is one, the warrior, the scouts call him, that came in to the back door area yesterday.
Oh, yes, we're here looking for him, actually.
Not in a good way. We're kind of looking for something before he does, because he's not a good person.
He seeks evil, and we're going to stop him.
So we're making a lot of assumptions here. We're assuming this is the person that we're after. I'm not trying to...
What does the person you're after look like?
We don't know.
We know his name, if that helps.
Well, we didn't ask him his name.
Oh, well,
I don't
that
think
would
he
help.
saw us.
He didn't see you. He didn't go to your village or anything.
No. No, I don't believe he saw any of our scouts. We were watching him from the shadows.
Well, of course, because you're mighty craftsmen and hunters.
Yes, and we're wise enough to know not to meddle with things that will kill us. He broke the ice bridge.
That's the bridge that we asked.
How did he break the bridge? I mean, that seems difficult.
He must wield a power of flames. The lava has been sleeping for years until he came through, and now everything is awakened.
Do you know if he did the thing with the lava man thing that we killed?
There was a lava man?
A lava man thing.
In the room with the blacksmith's forge.
It was a corrupted forge elemental.
Oh, I know all about those.
It was a creature summoned in the forge room down through the ice river, and we slayed it before coming up here.
Oh, no, we haven't encountered anything like that before.
It was awakened with the lava, the fires of the mountain.
We also killed a couple of dead things. I understand how weird that sounds, but
Oh, that'll be great. We can go hunting out the back door without having 3 people just holding spears over there now.
Yep, they're dead now. All 2 of them.
I
That's
should
good.
mention to you, we mentioned it to the guards, but when you send your group to build the ice bridge, depending on where you need to go, you might run into a troll and a
A
Cornelius.
small man.
Wait. I didn't understand the Cornelius word. Do you happen to speak Draconic?
I do. In Draconic, I say, a small man whose head is an eyeball.
Ah,
We don't want you to be alarmed by them. They're rather friendly from what we know, so don't attack them or antagonize them, please.
if you ask nicely and in a language he can understand, the big one may give you like a cloth or something.
It's true. He seeks to be a mighty crafter like you.
then perhaps he can learn something from us.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
I've been trying to find opportunities to teach him as a crafter myself.
I think right now he's trying out his hand at forging stuff.
As you finish saying that, the door to the cooking hut opens again, and 2 kobolds come out carrying between them like a roasted pig, and they set it down on the table.
What?
And another one comes out from the behind them with a bowl of fruits and vegetables.
Alward is sad. He cannot have any of the roasted pig. He's gonna look to Uver and then Sylvan and be like, "Can you save me some of that pig?"
I can try a little bit.
Thank you.
Howard.
Can you ask?
eat an
wait,
apple.
I can ask. Who's gonna carve this thing, or do we just dig in?
One of the kobolds, whose face is already like in the pig, looks up. Ow.
No, you.
Pulls out a couple knives.
I've used my teeth to carve before. It's fine.
Maybe don't save me some of that pig.
My, this food. Just, you guys are wonderful cooks.
And aside from the roaches, it actually is pretty well cooked. The seasoning seems like it leaves a little bit to be desired, but they are a somewhat isolationist community.
They live under a rock. A big one.
A really big one.
She leans over to one of the guards. If I put my own seasoning on this, would it be bad?
What kind of seasoning?
Well, she like opens a pocket which is full of like spices and stuff. She's like, I like to craft and cook and make things, so I always have some on me.
Can I try?
Yeah, sure. And she pulls out some more salt, maybe some basil,
Paprika.
some paprika.
Paprika.
I've got options. Whatever is
Howard
interesting
just
to you.
pulls out a clove of garlic.
Are we pulling
And
things
the
out
chieftain picks up the clove of garlic and just puts it in his mouth and starts chewing, and then just like squints really hard, keeps chewing.
You're supposed to mash it up and put it in your...
mashing it up right now.
I'm quite impressed, chieftain. Quite impressed.
Bear just like there's a like a piece of meat going to his mouth and he just stops staring like I'm rather
You outsiders have a lot to learn about cooking.
Clearly.
Would anyone else like some spices?
Bear's just gonna still kind of just like staring rather impressed at the garlic and just shakes a little bit. He didn't even look at what it was and gives it back.
No disrespect, sir, but you took the cooking from the vegetarian.
That was my last clove of garlic.
I'm so sorry. Was that your dinner? Vegetarian dinner? Oh no.
No, sure. It's fine. You gave me these and I eat another apple.
Isn't it quite honorable to trade food when possible?
It's true.
Uber just leans over to Howard and Sylvan is like, I'm rather impressed about that one, but
I'm terrified of that kobold.
I don't
Out of all the intimidation displays he's done, that was the most
that one
powerful.
was the most.
Is there any more of that clove left?
He swallows. No.
Oh, I thought he just took a bite.
No,
He's
he
been chewing it.
ate the whole clove.
Oh, okay. I just thought he took a bite out of it, but I mean, I wanted some.
This is the definition of too much garlic.
We found it. 100% garlic.
What's the chieftain's name?
I don't think we asked. Yeah.
Sorry, you didn't introduce yourself. What do we call you by?
I am Chief Arbu.
Chief Arb, where are we sleeping tonight?
We have a guest hut.
And he gestures to a rather nice hut.
Is it like small sized?
It is small sized.
We also have our own provisions like sleeping bags.
Yeah,
and
do you
such.
have a spot we can just set up our tents?
In case the hut can't fit all of us.
I think it looks perfect. It could fit like 10 of me.
It could fit like 3 of you,
It
5
might
of
be
you
a bit
maybe.
tight, but some of us could sleep in there.
I'm rather small.
And you said Uver was rude whenever he didn't immediately bow, and here you are outright rejecting his hospitality.
I'm not rejecting. I just can't fit in it. I'm too big.
I will contend. We don't often have as many large visitors as you all are.
Do you have multiple? Do you have any visitors?
To answer your earlier question, there's some space near the guest hut where you could set up your tents.
Oh,
Thank
you, Chief.
I didn't know how to ask that question without being rude.
I didn't know how to answer that question without being rude.
So
What
we are in
languages
agreement.
does Nero speak?
I speak the common of the area, Necril, Shadow Tongue, and Undercommon.
Good
Talking to
languages.
you privately is going to be difficult.
Very difficult.
I know Undercommon.
We could talk. We
And
could have a
common.
conversation.
Hey, I'm going to speak secretly to you, and then you speak secretly to her.
Just use code words.
I'm going to like look at Nero and be like, maybe like sing for them or something.
What?
This is supposed to be a party, and they all seem very tense.
I think my
I can-
singing would
I can
offend
tell a
them.
story that all of them can hear.
Would we be able to understand it?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I'll just speak each verse twice.
How about we just
Or I
find...
can just speak it to the Draconic and you don't have to hear it.
I
You
like
can tell us later.
stories.
The chieftain is like leaning on an elbow with his spoon. He's like, so if you're going to entertain us, what's it going to be?
Well, we could start with a story, and then Neros and I could play music.
That sounds good.
And I could sing.
Sorry, what did you say there? Did you say something bad about music?
Let's just go with it.
Okay.
All right. What's the story about?
Should I speak it in Draconic or in a common language?
Do you have a translator?
Starts rifling around in a pouch. I have this. And he holds out like this little golden like brooch. But it doesn't translate.
Can I? What's it do?
Oh, it's pretty cool actually. It holds your cloak on.
Can I?
What does that?
What use is that right now?
That's like asking for directions and telling them something that's completely out of state.
It's fine. We don't need to understand the story.
It
I
is,
suppose.
as you can tell, very fine craftsmanship for a brooch.
Did you make that,
Yes.
or did you find that?
Sense motive.
Well, it wasn't me exactly. It was our finest craftsman from 2 generations ago.
Can I get a perception check on that?
Yeah, go ahead and roll.
Are you questioning the chieftain?
100%. And I'm joining that perception check.
Go for it.
You're all guests.
21.
16. You're rolling pretty badly.
Alward, you can tell that he is lying. Uver, you do not know that.
Your finest craftsman.
Yes, I will admit, I could never craft something this beautiful myself. My skills are more in leadership than in crafting.
May I take a look at it, if you don't mind?
Of course, and he hands it over to you.
I'd like to.
Spend a minute to read aura.
I could do that.
I would like to say I'm miming something like the size of a smartphone, but when he hands it over to Uver, it's really, in actuality, it's more the size of a playing card because the chieftain is small.
Do I get a sense of anything off of it just immediately looking at it, like whether or not it'd be either crafting or possibly magical?
It's well crafted. It could well be magical, but it's definitely in a tier that someone would be willing to enchant.
You could.
I can try
you
Arcana
could
just to see if I can notice anything about it.
You could just read aura.
Or I could read aura. Yeah. I'll just sit and as everyone else kind of keeps conversation, I'll just start casting read aura.
All right. And it seems reasonable because read aura, to someone who doesn't know any better, looks an awful lot like just admiring the craftsmanship. While your friend here is looking over this brooch, you said you had a story for us?
I'll play my drummer violin a little bit while I tell the story, just to give it a little something. Many years ago, there was a young woman. On her day of birth, her mother passed away, and the child was left without any parents. The child was raised to be a great crafter, much like yourselves and those in your village. She was taught to worship the goddess of crafting to better serve her craft. But as the years went on, her father came back, and he took her away from the village, from the crafters. And with that, she was locked away, kept from the outside world, trapped away. As the years went on, she continued to hone her crafts so that she could worship fully and spread the good word of Sheldon and of crafters, much like yourselves. She kind of motions to everyone.
All the kobolds nod.
Yes. And then there came a day, much like any other, when she was looking to escape but had no money for herself. And that was when she met a small, one-eyed individual a Cornelius, if you will, she says to all of them, after having described a Cornelius as a one-eyed man. She's expecting ooze.
And she gets the ooh.
He told her she had the makings and promise of a grand destiny to stop something evil from rising and threatening all the people in the land, every last little kobold and every last tall giant. And so they set out together to learn, to grow, and to slay the monsters that threaten everything. Now, a special day occurred when they received notice of an undead monster haunting a barrows. So the two of them went out to save a small town in danger. And in there, they discovered ancient secrets and a mighty weapon. They fought tirelessly as they fought the creature until they slayed it and saved the village. And then they continued to travel and found another group of people searching to do the same thing that they were. And from there, they fought ice monsters, creatures, and people that sought to do harm. They slayed a mighty giant made of lava.
We get a close-up of a young kobold, like, ooh, he cuddles closer to his mother.
As they start fighting the monster, the woman, she almost died as the creature engulfed her in lava. And when she was dying, she thought of... And Valix just, paused for a moment herself. Well, then they slayed the monster. And, they were treated by a kind and friendly people to a wonderful banquet of food, and joy and celebration rang throughout the night. And there'll be much more to come later as time continues onward. And whenever I see you all, I'll make sure to fill you in on what has happened.
And the kobolds erupt into applause.
1, that was awesome. 2, I absolutely enjoy the thought that you just pretty much, I think, gave your entire backstory in story form, completely in Draconic.
Yep.
And not noticeable at all to any of the actual party you're a part
I
of.
was like, once all the kobolds explode, I was like, oh, it sounded like a good story. Wish I could understand it.
They're just kind of vaguely like...
I would say that there was more to it than what I said, but...
And the chieftain says, "You speak very familiarly of this woman. Do you know her?"
Well, seeing it, everyone seems captivated and enjoying it. That woman is me.
Are you still in Draconic?
Yeah.
Okay.
A ripple of not amusement. What's the word I'm looking for?
Amazement?
Yes. A ripple of amazement goes through the crowd.
And from the lava creature, we have taken a trophy. And she holds the hammer to prove our great works and strengths. And she was, it's very dangerous, though, so please be careful.
A younger kobold stops reaching out for it and backs up a little bit.
It itself can control the lava and burn those unworthy of its touch.
Are you giving them the mallet?
No.
What's going on? Why are you showing them the mallet? The hammer?
It was part of the flair of the story.
The story involved the hammer?
Yes.
I'm
embellishing a little bit.
Don't just show them a magical artifact.
They know not to touch it.
In Sylvan, I'm going to be like, they killed somebody or stole off a dead body.
I
that
just
brooch.
told them that if they touched it, they might be covered in lava. I think it's fine.
I'm just saying
it's okay.
They are willing to do things for magical items.
Okay.
Speaking of magical items, Uver.
Yes?
As the story has been being told, and you've been focusing with Reed Aura, you can tell it is magical in the Transmutation School of Magic.
Ooh.
And as you've been turning it over in your hands, I imagine that you probably weren't listening to Val at all.
No.
Because when you turned it over, there was another one of those runes engraved on the back. Just one.
It's a good thing he wasn't listening to the thing that he couldn't understand.
But what's it do?
Make an Arcana check.
It holds your cloak together.
Sven, are you okay?
I've been rolling crap this whole time. So first things first. This is like the third time in a row I've rolled this number.
Oh no.
And it makes it a 21.
Nice.
I rolled a 6.
You should roll better.
I should.
Wait,
What's your Arcana?
14.
that would be a 20.
6 plus 14 is 20.
Oh, yeah, you're right. 20.
DC 20.
Sven, what is it? What'd you get?
Oh. Okay. Sorry. So this is a brooch of scales.
Ooh, that sounds
Yeah.
cool. What's it do?
So the small golden pendant is carefully crafted around a collection of various dragon scales, each brimming with arcane potential. The dial of the pendant is carefully tuned to harness this potential with a mere twist of the dial. Once the brooch has been used, its magic must be recharged until the end of next daily preparations. For 2 actions, I can activate an effect. I twist the dial clockwise, gaining the effects of a second rank enlarge cast on yourself. The other activation, for another 2 actions, I twist the dial counterclockwise, gaining the effects of a second rank reduce cast on yourself.
That's so cool.
Yeah! How am I going to keep it?
We'll figure that out later.
Yeah.
Just ask him if you can keep it.
Yeah.
Gaslight these kobolds into thinking it's garbage.
No.
While he's looking that over, Val's gonna like talk to the kobolds and be like, "Now, sing a song and I'll put some music to it. Let's all get into this together."
Outward, you're going to hear a slight intake of breath from Uver.
Howard's gonna look over at you and like sort of mime the words. Are you okay?
You see the same look that he has every time he sees any of the runes. That look of like utter fascination, but also like another one.
And I'm going to turn to the kobold chieftain and be like, it seems that my friend here really likes that brooch. Is there any way we could keep it? I know it's dear to you, of course.
It is. It's very special to me. It's a family heirloom.
Sure.
Crafted 2 generations ago.
Sure. What can we do to allow us to keep it?
He looks over, and the camera lingers a very mournful shot of this injured kobold with his arm in a sling. He looks back. Drive out the intruder from the caves out the back door, and you can keep the brooch.
So you want us to drive out the warrior?
Yes.
Can we use the brooch during our? Can we keep it during our quest to do so? Because from my understanding, we can't fit through the front door.
That's a good point.
So if you just hang out the back entrance, and we have to go through there, so we'll give it to you if we don't have proof that he's gone.
Isn't there a bigger door past the back door?
That's the door That's the door I'm talking about. I'm sorry.
Oh, you want me? We wait there.
Yes.
Okay, I thought you meant our back door.
No, at the front door to the Trollforge, back door to. Yes.
Yes. We'll meet you there.
Okay. Also, is that kobold kid okay?
What, the kid?
Yeah, the one with the arm.
Oh, he tripped.
Val, do you think you can do anything for that kid?
What are you talking about?
I point to the kid in the sling.
Is that kid with a sling?
It's a young kobold.
Was it brought up?
Did I say
miss
kid?
this?
I thought you said kid.
You said young, so I think
I
it just got assumed
assumed.
kid, yeah.
I was imagining like in his 20s.
Oh, okay.
I hand the chieftain one bandage that I took from the pits, whatever it's called.
That does.
With Albert saying that, I will like dance play my way over to the child.
By the power
Or the
of
young
music.
one.
The young warrior.
The one way.
And all the kobolds Pied Piper with you.
And then I reach out my hand to touch his forehead, and I cast Lay on Hands. So a surge of magic flows from my
And
hand,
this is where we learn that they're all undead kobolds.
healing him
Turns to
18
ash.
hit points.
And the sling just like unravels and falls away, bathed in golden light. And he looks up at Val.
And she goes, mate, and she kind of reaches out her arms and goes, may the goddess of crafting, Shellen, bless you all so your crafting might continue to bless her name.
And all the kobolds shout, Shellen!
And Howard is going to think to himself, how many people is he going to, or is she going to convert to Shaylin on this one adventure?
And then she'll kind of turn and like, Neros, do you want to join in on some music?
Sure.
Can I have
Do you
my
have
bandage
Do
back?
you have anything? Or
The chieftain.
No, not.
Thank you.
I know you're proficient in drinking songs, so this could be good at a fun party.
I'm usually drinking while I'm singing drinking songs.
Well, that's true. She turns over to Draconic. Do you guys do alcohol here?
Do you do alcohol?
Do we do alcohol? Chieftain jumps down from the table and walks back into the kitchen. Couple kobolds come rolling barrels out.
Based off the barrel, is it any specific kind, or is it just like kobold made, kobold brewed?
From now, it just looks like barrels.
Okay. I wasn't sure if they'd have like a marking on it.
Yeah,
Or a brand.
stamp or something on them.
Let's
They
get this party started.
Set the
right?
barrels upright and pop them open, and you can immediately smell it.
Is it a good thing or a bad thing?
It's strong.
Oh.
I just, Chieftain, I just wanted to check before this party gets to this level. Do we have people working on the bridge?
That happens after the festival.
All right.
We need it to happen by the time we wake up and are ready to leave.
That's fine. You people sleep for what, like 6 hours?
More than that,
Yeah,
actually.
more.
Oh, we'll have plenty of time.
All right, just making sure, sir.
I'm gonna go and get my tent ready, and I'm not much of a drinker, so
Alwood.
I'm not going to think.
Alwood.
I have things I
Come on. I've got Nuvo to party with me.
look.
A kobold picks up a mug, scoops out a bunch of drink, and like
Come
presses it into
on.
Elvin's hand. Another one runs up and like grabs that first kobold and says in Draconic, "Wait, he's vegan."
Peer pressure.
Yeah, no.
Are there vegan drinks that you have? What's not vegan about the drink?
Yeah, why is it not vegan?
What part of this drink is not vegan?
I want to know why it's not vegan.
Yeah, Val asks that.
Oh, well.
Draconic.
I thought vegan was like not harming any living things.
Well, what's in there?
What's in that?
Oh, it's just liquor, but
What
we
ki-
stole it from somebody.
Val kind of looks to the others and is like, because this is still in Draconic, right?
Yeah,
Val's like, oh, who did you steal it from?
just a merchant,
A merchant.
but he had good liquor.
Well, you didn't kill him, did you?
Did we kill him?
Has to check.
You know what? It's probably best that you don't tell me.
Okay, I won't tell you.
All right. No, it's thought vegetarians don't eat things that are made from things that were alive.
Oh, I don't think this was. Wait, it was made from plants. Are plants alive?
The plants are okay.
Okay.
Okay, so that does.
Vegetarians are confused.
If they have a brain,
So that does bring up like a very good question, because in this world of magic, I can cast speak with plants and just ask plants questions, and they can speak back. So like,
you should.
technically, you can't be vegan in this world
She looks down
because
at the kobold.
everything is alive.
She looks down at the kobolds like, you should have seen him when we met some leshies.
The kobold looks at Alward and then trepidatiously hands him the drink.
Now the kobold's scared of you.
So Alward looks over and he sees that Zephyr
Alward?
has. Yeah.
Okay.
He sees that Zephyr has already set up his and Zephyr's tent.
Zephyr set up my tent and your tent?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to make sure, because with how my brain read that, he set up his tent, so Zephyr's tent, and Zephyr's tent. So I was confused. Thank you.
Tentception.
Albert,
Look,
just one.
if you want to get me drunk some other time, that's
No,
fine.
I'm
I
not
don't.
s-
I
I'm-
don't want to get drunk in a thing of
I'm
murderous
not saying
kobolds.
drunk. I'm just saying have a drink.
Fine.
One drink's not going to
I'll
make you
have-
drunk unless you have a very low fortitude.
I'll have some drink.
Yes.
Alward, do you ever drink?
Like on
gonna be
very
such a
rare
lightweight.
occasion, he would have like a thing of wine, but it wouldn't. It would be like at like, business events when it's expected, not. And he wouldn't drink the whole cup. He would just like be like, "Oh yeah, this is my third glass," and he's lying, and it's like his first.
He's going to be such a lightweight.
I'm gonna need a fortitude save.
Oh God.
Is it that strong?
I have stat blocks for alcohol.
What did you roll? We don't have. You don't have to
It's
drink.
been rolled. It's
Let's
too late.
find out what happens.
You're starting to feel the effects.
Okay, then I'm gonna stop drinking.
You will have a +1 item bonus to saving throws against fear effects for 10 minutes.
You're right, Howard.
I'm gonna. He's just gonna hold on to the mug and walk away from the party before anybody can tell him to drink again.
The two kobolds, the one who handed you the mug and the other who tried to stop them, they just watch you go, and then one fist bumps the other.
He's like slightly stumbling as he makes his way.
I ask the chieftain, "Hey, what do you call this stuff?"
Grog.
I can't add that to my list.
Neros,
Yeah.
is that stuff strong? I've never really had any.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Grog?
She's just assuming you know about it.
You can expect this stuff is about 60 proof.
Was what?
Oh, that's not horrible.
No, that's not bad.
Okay, that's
30% alcohol.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not bad.
If pressured into it, Val will drink. I'm assuming by Abby's look is she's going to be pressuring.
Yeah.
I'll need a fortitude save from Val then.
Pretty good at that.
I'm calling it
Roll bad.
cold brew with a K.
You rolled really
20,
well.
24.
I like that.
You're fine.
Oh,
You're taking it well.
That wasn't too bad. Could probably have more.
Then yes, we can sing together.
Oh, alright, if that's what it takes.
I like how Neros will only sing when hammered.
Yes.
Alright,
Liquid courage.
Should make a
Mhm.
fun night, I guess. Alright, oh, okay.
We have a great time.
So, as the party continues, drink is shared, music is played, music is beginning to be a little bit less coordinated as time goes on, and Alward, the effects of the alcohol are beginning to subside a little bit.
So Alward is going, basically, from the time he took the drink and a little bit after, he went to his tent to level out his head again and to sort of just try some things and like study and do some certain things.
Uver is going to avoid the drink completely, one way or another. He's going to actually kind of walk away from the party in general, still half studying the brooch in his hands, and bypass his tent. And he's actually going to come up to Alward and kind of half, I don't know, knock, whatever. Alward, Alward, are you in there?
And when you open up the tent, you see sort of Alward facing away from the door, and sort of forming around him is this like golden like glow, and you can sort of, he's like muttering to himself. He seems kind of frustrated about what's going on, but you can also hear like him screaming like loudly, and like other like him messing up something and then saying something different. And it sort of doesn't make sense, but as soon as you speak, it all goes away. He's like, Uver, what? Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you about. There was one of the rooms, but what was that? Why was there multiple of you? It seems.
So I recently learned that I've been doing something. You're old.
That's how I start all my conversations.
And you know a lot of folklore and stories.
Yes, I have heard a lot of different things.
I know this might seem a little tangential. What do you remember on the day we repaired the bridge?
Do you mean someone overhanging the gully, the gulch?
Yes.
I remember we came up to it. We had tried some ideas of how to go around it or whatnot, and we ended up fixing the bridge, if I remember correctly. I know my memory may not be the most consistent, but
I died, Uver, that day. And no one really has mentioned it or make note of it. When I went to go inspect the bridge to see how many we can cross, I overstepped and fell through. I was panicking the whole fall. And then the next thing I knew, I was standing on the bridge. And things like this have been happening basically ever since I've met you guys. And it's slightly terrifying. And I thought it was just me thinking ahead, until that moment happened.
I know my memory isn't the most reliable, but I certainly don't remember you falling or anything, and obviously you haven't died because we're having this conversation.
That's the thing. I need someone to remember when this happens. Here, let me show you, and then Alward's going to hand you a coin.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to say, I'm going to call that coin, and you're going to flip it, and I need you to remember what I said and what it lands on, okay? I need you to remember.
I'll tell you what, I'll do it one better. I'll write it down. And he just pulls out a book.
So that won't work? Because you wouldn't have written it down previously.
Okay. We'll try. I'll try. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. And he just holds it out, like ready to flip.
And then when you flip it and it's in the air, Alward's going to call out heads, and it's going to land on tails. And then I need you to make a will save.
Ooh. Come on, dice. 22.
You just barely passed.
The best kind of passing.
Yeah, the best kind of passing. And then as you flip it, Alward is going to call tails, and it's going to land on tails. It's like, do you remember?
You said that is odd. I could have sworn that you said heads.
I did say heads, but I did something. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing yet, but I did something. And this is, you know how sometimes right before like a fight breaks out or something, I'm ahead of everything?
Yes.
It's almost as though I can see what's about to happen and choose to act beforehand. It isn't always precise. It isn't always correct. But it's... Do you know anything about chronomancy?
You're expert in Arcana?
Yes.
Yeah. You've heard a bit about chronomancy. It's It's more of a niche school of magic. There's not a whole lot of clarified, identified spells that people can study reliably, but you're aware of it.
Yes. Back when I was in the library, I came across a book or two speaking about it. It's not very well known, but I have heard a little bit about it. Read something.
I think I might be doing that, but I'm not sure why or how or what's happening with it, and I just needed someone else to remember.
Well, what about what I walked into? What was that?
I'm trying to see if I can see other times, because like I said, I died. I want to know what happened to all of the other me's that no longer exist, if that makes sense.
That honestly can both be useful and quite dangerous, I think. Enough to drive someone mad.
Most of what I've done wasn't as deadly as falling off a bridge, mind you. Like I said, I thought I was just thinking ahead. So nothing terrible, but it has been, aside from that one, been really funny to see some of the social interactions that have been undone by what I've been meddling with.
And you don't know what you're doing to activate it? Or is it like a thought process that you start with?
It's like a thought, but it happens quickly. Like, for instance, whenever I'm slow and it takes me a minute to recognize that a combat or a fight is going on, it's because I'm sort of lost in the thought, in the choices that I have. I don't know how really to explain it, but
Is there a way to... obviously you activated it right then with the coin. I believe if...
When I cast any magic, it's because I want something to happen. You're a wizard, so you...
yes, I understand that, but it's the calling upon the... Anyway.
Yes. Whereas you rely on study and practice and doing certain ways, I just want, and it happens.
Similar to a sorcerer.
Yes. So with the coin and with other things, I want it to happen, but I'm not specifically requesting time be altered. I don't want to mess up. I don't want to fall to my death. I don't want to make a social faux pas. And it fixes.
And have you found a limitation to this?
It's all very new. I just learned that I'm doing this 2 days ago.
Well, I'm glad it has saved your life at least once.
Same.
I wish I could do more to help, but it is not a school of magic that I have studied in any great detail. Growing up, I studied multiple fields and became a bit of a jack of all trades, so to speak. I experimented a lot with the magic, but ever since the incidents with the runes, I've been a bit singularly focused, so to speak.
Right. Oh, I'm sorry. What were you asking when you walked in here?
Yes, of course. This brooch that the Kobold chieftain had, I can definitely say now that he was lying about who made...
He 100% stole it off of someone.
It has a rune on it, one of the runes. And I flip it over and show it to you.
Oh. Can I make a crafting check to see where the brooch came from? Like any specific area, or if it has any like markings saying, oh, it's from here, or if it has like a creator's mark?
you wouldn't need a crafting check to know this, but the only engraving that appears to be on it is that rune.
Okay, so there's no like creator's mark or anything
No.
like that. Okay.
It stands to reason that that rune could be the creator's mark, because there doesn't seem to be any other engraving. But
okay.
you don't know that.
Yeah.
I do know that this brooch is magical transmutation. In fact, I believe it has the effects that I've already explained.
Yes.
Yes, those effects. It is quite powerful magic. But I remember you. I'll be honest. It is frustrating, but you've had more immediate success in trying to understand these runes than I have or remember to have. I was hoping you could take a look at it.
I got lucky and was able to transcribe a singular rune, but I can take a look and see. Best thing, we'll hopefully have it with us by the end of it, so we won't need to worry about a transcription, but I can certainly try.
Perhaps we can solve both my mystery and your mystery together, young friend.
I would appreciate any guidance on this, so...
Well, I don't have much experience with that particular school of magic. I have experience with multiple schools of magic and how they work. Perhaps I can give some guidance in a small way. And in return, you can help me in my mystery, so to speak.
And as you say that, Uver, you notice a sort of itching sensation on one of the runes on your left shoulder. And that's where we'll end for tonight.
What?
Oh! That's awesome.
What is causing you to gain new runes?
I don't know.
All right, so Jenkins, you got the hero point for tonight's session for the awesome role-playing scene that carried us out to the end here.
Yahoo.
Thanks.
Also for drinking.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, that was
Doing
very
your-
out of it. I can't wait for the time where...
You stuck to your vegan morals,
yes.
and I'm proud of you.
Well, I'm going to go and I guess read up on veganism.
And we'll see you all in the next episode. This has been an Atomic Broadcasting production. Pathfinder, Galarian, and the Lost Omens world setting are copyright of Paizo. More information at paizo.com. Music in the show is from Monument Studios' collection, as well as assorted artists, with some original tracks composed by Jordy Hake. More details in the description. If you enjoyed the show, please remember to share with a friend, and we'll look forward to seeing you again next time.
Stand by.
Yes.
I must let the wolf out.
Oh, they have a pet wolf. I absolutely love the idea of the leader being like, I have to let the wolf out. Do you want to go outside? You was a good boy.
You was a good boy.